Hi, this is Lenny Sherman.
And this is Matthew Weatherford.
And this is Schmuckast.
The nostalgia episode, part 2.
There we go.
Of the nostalgia
We're finally
episode.
at the Weatherford Dome.
I know. This is a nice little, nice little representation. A nice painting in front of us. Well, what's going on? We haven't done one of these in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. Is there anything new to talk about?
No.
How about all them remakes?
You watched the Carrie remake. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it was all right.
What would you give it on the Lenski meter? 1 to 69. What would you?
How
Was it? How was it?
I didn't really like the first Carrie, to be honest with the original. I saw that on Halloween recently, and I was like, it's not that great.
Dated. Definitely dated.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I saw the remake, and what I liked about it was that it was true to the source material, and I've never read the book, so I'm just comparing it to the original, the Brian De Palma film. And they did a good job with it. I mean, it's one of those movies where obviously they modernize it, so you see a lot of the characters on the cell phones. One of the differences I liked was when they're actually in the shower scene, the infamous shower scene at the beginning, where they're throwing the tampons at her, and they're like, "Plug it up."
Yeah.
One of the main girls that later on drops the pig's blood on her, was taking a video of it on her cell phone. So at the prom, one of the added things they did was they showed that video on the screen
In front of everybody.
So I thought that was kind of unique.
How was the massacre in the Carrie?
It was good. I mean, this is one of those movies where the special effects that they added actually were good. My brother, who's never seen the original, had never seen Carrie before, was kind of behind me watching the ending part of it, and he was like, "Whoa, that was pretty sweet." The special effects really helped the movie. One of the scenes that was really cool, I won't spoil it, but you know how in the original, John Travolta and the other girl, they drive off and she kills them in the car.
Yeah.
I forgot exactly how it happens, but
a
they do it in this movie, and it's just fucking sweet how
it's a great revenge story.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like was they changed the last 5 minutes were pretty stupid.
Yeah.
But aside from, as far as remakes go, I was actually impressed because I actually enjoyed watching.
The best scenes I thought in the original Carrie that I liked the most were definitely with the mother. Those parts were the freakiest. Her crazy religious mother that was like locking her in the closet to pray to God and stuff.
Yeah.
The end too. The last 10 minutes.
She was played by Julianne Moore in the movie, and
okay.
It was, I don't know,
I like Julianne Moore.
I do too.
She's pretty cute.
When I saw the trailer for it, I thought she would be a good mom, and I don't know. They didn't really give her dues in the remake. That was one of my little nitpicks about the remake. But
remember the ending of the first movie when she knives her and
I don't remember. She kills the mom, doesn't she?
Yeah, she throws knives at her and she ends up being like crucified. Yeah. It's not even a great movie, and I'm sure the remake isn't better. Is it better?
It's on par.
Yeah.
It's on par.
It's a cool little story.
It's a good remake.
That was Stephen King's really first big hit. That was
Yeah.
I think it was his very first book.
Yeah.
It's a classic revenge tale, and I always think of Friday the 13th Part 7, of course, with Tina.
Yeah, it gets compared to that a lot. Friday the 13th, Jason versus Carrie.
So Trick or Treat. We watched a couple movies on Blu-ray, as me and Lenny are prone to do. We watched Trick or Treat. Pretty cool little movie, huh?
I found that when I was working in retail, when I first started there, I worked in the electronics department, and I remember right around October, Halloween time, there were like 3 or 4 customers looking for that movie. And it was weird because I'd never heard of it before, and apparently it was they had kind of a low budget making it. It was, I think, in development hell for a while where they'd finished making it, but for some reason it wasn't getting distributed on time.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The end was a little ho-hum, I thought.
It's a little hokey.
Goes on a little... Well, no, I like the
but
first
but
hour
it's fun.
Really good.
It's good, fun, and I love the visuals. That one scene where they're talking about the bus driver and they transition from the night to the nice orange autumn.
Yeah, it goes from the mask to the sun. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that was a creepy story with the bus. He locked all the kids up, and then the kid goes, No, I want to go home. No. Yeah, pretty much.
Like that.
No, it was good. No, twists and turns. Who saw that vampire thing going,
Yeah, I know.
Or no, werewolf.
It's a very fun movie. It goes all over the place.
Those
Like every story has its little twist.
And I loved how everything was connecting. We were always looking for different things. Oh, that's that lady from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
There were so many cool little... Yeah, very good movie. Very short, 80 minutes. I mean, it's over before you know it. But like I said, I guess maybe the last 20 minutes were a little lacking. The whole old man and the pumpkin thing, I guess that was a little drawn out a little too long, but hey. I liked it, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot I can say about it. How'd you
find this again?
It was at Walmart. It was $8.
$8? What made you want to buy it? Did you just hear about it?
Well,
or
I told you. Yeah. Were you not listening? I said there are people where I worked that Were you not listening to that story?
To say it all over. That was good. It was good.
No, but I ended up watching it online actually on Netflix, and I enjoyed it. I just thought it was different.
Yeah,
and
it is different.
I saw it and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll buy it.
Pretty cool.
For $8.
Really cool cast.
Yeah, it's my all-time. It's probably my favorite all-time Halloween movie right
Halloween.
now.
Yeah, there's not too many good Halloween movies, are there?
And don't say John Carpenter's Halloween because
Halloween.
I digress. I disagree.
Is that the name? This is better than Halloween? That's all right.
I think it is.
Well, then there you go.
I think Halloween's overrated.
Yeah, every movie is really. In the end, no movie really lives up to hype. They don't. They're just movies.
It's not a classic. It's just an enjoyable movie.
Well, and we also saw Lenny saw his first Coen brother movie.
Yeah.
No Country for Old Men. Good place to start. You seem to like it. Everyone seemed to have a good thrill ride. We all laughed quite a bit. Good writing.
I haven't seen a movie like with an audience in a while, aside from the theater. Like when I watch movies in my house, it's always by myself. My wife and I just have such different tastes that we don't watch movies together. What I
really liked about the movie, and it got me the first time, is like I love how it's just all images. There's very little dialogue. Sometimes it's just long passages of shots.
Film is a visual medium,
of shots. Yeah, of just telling a story without saying anything. And I think that can be that takes a lot of talent to do. It's not easy. Well,
a lot of people don't realize, but I mean,
the craft of it.
Films used to be silent. And film is a visual medium. It's the audio, the dialogue is just supposed to enhance the film. That's the one thing they try to teach you in a film school is they want you to think more visually. And of course, you've got directors that are very dialogue heavy, like Kevin Smith. But yeah, something like this comes along and.
But it was very tension filled, especially like with the little beep beep, the thing that he had to catch the money, and it's just.
I wasn't too happy about the ending. Not so much the way it ended. I just thought it ended a little too abrupt.
A lot of that last. What do you mean abrupt? As in just.
Well, when you found, I don't want to give it away, but when you found when you found the protagonist, it's just like they find him, and that's it. There's no big scene. They just kind of So that's the one thing. And that's a nitpicky.
Well, it was going to happen. You can't run away forever. Eventually, he was going to get caught.
Well, yeah, I'm just used to the good guy winning. That's
of course you're used to.
That's crowd pleaser.
But I'll tell you enough. If the Coen brothers do anything, they don't do what you expect. That's the one thing they're very famous for.
Yeah, didn't they do Fargo?
Highly recommended.
Those
are the two you need to. I have it. Those are the two movies of theirs that you got to watch. Roger Ebert called it one of the best movies he'd ever seen.
Yeah.
About Fargo.
Well, it's like I said too. Like just the name Coen Brothers get people interested. There was a story I read about Bill Murray. The reason why he did the movie Garfield, the reason why he did the voice for Garfield was because when he saw the script, he didn't read the script. He saw the cover of the script and it had Coen on it, and he thought it was a Coen Brothers script, and it was the wrong Coen. It was Cohen, and that's how he ended up doing Garfield, which is kind of a funny story.
Cool. It was a great script.
But it goes to show though that in that business, if you have just a name that people are familiar with, they'll fucking come into your movie.
I never got into the Coen brothers, really. I don't think I've seen any of their movies. I always liked Fargo, but none of the other ones I'd seen.
They're always highly recommended.
Fargo's
for some reason...
Fargo's only an hour and a half, but it's sweet. Steve Buscemi's in it. And,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good.
Isn't Ed Furlong
One best script at the Oscars.
Yeah. I've heard good things about their directing and their writing.
Yeah, well, you saw No Country for Old Men. That was a lot of funny lines. Yeah. What am I going to tell Mom? Well, just get in the door and say, hey, Mom, I'm here. And it really holds up to repeated viewings. That was only the second time I've seen it, but it pulls you in right away. And that's a film. You watch that is a film. That's like what you would love to strive to do. Something that simple.
I'm really interested who's going to win for Best Picture this year at the Oscars.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Really a bad year for movies.
No, there's actually quite a lot of 12 Years a Slave is supposed to be awesome. 12 Years a Slave is getting all the buzz.
Wins. No,
American Hustle's got
I'm always watching top 10 lists on the internet, and there's this one who calls herself the Nostalgia Chick. And she just did a top 10, and she made a good point. She was like, "This was a really bad year
top
for
10
movies.
What?
Top 10 worst movies of the year." And The Hobbit was on there, and I don't think it was. Well, actually, The Hobbit was really disappointing. Like that was a really big letdown. But a lot of people liked that movie.
Made a lot of money.
Yeah, Man of Steel was actually number one for her. Which I don't think was the worst movie, but it was just every movie I saw this year, every movie was underwhelming.
Yeah, I try not to be too snobbish about it, but you know how I feel about today's movies. They're definitely lacking in a lot of things,
Yeah, I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have said that last year. I'm always against you on that, but I would say for this year, it's getting to the point where they just don't know. Last year was disappointment too.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's just like where are all the good movies?
In the past.
Don't say that because you say that and then you presume that they can't make good movies anymore.
Well, I'm not presuming that. I'm just saying. You ask for all the good movies are, hey. That's the beauty of cinema. All your 25 movies are in the past. Fuck, Forrest Gump is like 20 years old, bro.
Yeah.
No, more than that. How old is it? Is it 24? I think it's 24 this year.
It came out in 93.
94, wasn't it? Was it 93?
93. 2003.
Oh, that was 94.
20. You're right. It was 94.
Forrest Gump was 94.
So, yeah, almost 20 years old.
Love that movie. That's another one I just saw maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
Well, we just did we had a whole podcast on Forrest Gump. So.
What do you mean? We did?
Yeah, we did. I listened to it today. We were talking about it.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Are you talking about the stupid one that we did?
No.
With the 30-minute delay.
No, what? No.
Oh, really? We already did talk? Oh, because we went through your movie.
Gump.
Well, you know.
Yeah, you asked me about you were like, your exact words were like, tell people about Forrest Gump. I think everybody's
fucking movie made me cry, man. I shed a tear at the end when he was at the grave.
It is one of my favorite films.
What a performance, you know?
Yeah.
Just, like I said, if there's any word I can use for Forrest Gump, it's epic.
Tom Hanks is one of those guys that, like, you put his name on the marquee and it just adds value to your ticket price.
I love.
My wife and I just saw Saving Mr. Banks, where Tom Hanks played Walt Disney, and I really the movie was okay. It wasn't like great or anything, but he was the reason to watch that movie.
If there's one Tom Hanks you haven't seen yet, you really should, because he was real young, and I thought it was a good movie. The good message was big. A young boy being put into his body.
In the last few months, I saw Splash again.
There you go.
That's a really
I
got
to see that.
Yeah.
Well, Big is very sentimental because in the end, you know, a woman falls in love with him, but he's really a child, and she falls in love with him because he is a child. Everyone else is so business-like and busy, but him, you know, you really should watch, because he's very good. He was very young too. That was like one of his big.
You got to see
roles.
Bachelor Party.
Well, let's do a swap. Hey, you see Big, I'll see Splash. Let's have a Tom Hanks trade-off. Yeah. No, you'll like Big. I know you'll like Big.
You've never seen Bachelor Party?
Big is really good. No, I never seen Bachelor Party. No, I gotta up my Tom Hanks here.
That's one that he did.
He's
not really known for.
You gotta watch his other Oscar win too. Was Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's definitely one I gotta watch.
You know who directed that too was John Demme, who did Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Was that his name, or is it Demme?
I think it's Jonathan.
Is it Jonathan Demme?
I think so. Who gives a fuck? Seriously,
he's one of my favorite actors.
It's Martin Scorsese.
I mean, who are your three favorite living actors?
Actors?
Yeah, Tom Hanks is.
Tom Hanks would be up there. I used to say Christopher Lloyd, but he's just such a character actor. I haven't seen him in a lot of things to really call him.
What about Jack Nicholson? No, Jack Nicholson.
I haven't seen enough of his stuff.
Christopher Lloyd over Jack Nicholson? I don't know.
I haven't seen a lot of.
But it is your
stuff.
opinion. I'm sorry, I should. No, Harrison Ford's probably up there for me, just because of all the movies he's been in.
But
he's really
again,
great.
Harrison Ford to me will always be two characters,
right?
Indiana Jones and Han Solo. And after that, it's hard to really call him an actor. Only, I don't see him as an actor. I see him as a carpenter that got lucky. I'm sorry.
He's a good actor.
He's all right.
He's got a lot of presence.
Like the other stuff I've seen him in, I was not impressed with. That one. No, the one I did see recently that I liked him in was 42, the baseball movie.
Oh, okay.
He was good in that.
You gotta look. Fugitive wasn't bad.
I didn't like Fugitive. I'm probably one of the few people that don't like that movie.
Well, also Richard Decker for me with Blade Runner, obviously that one seals it.
And I thought he was kind of dry in that, but maybe that was the point.
He was supposed to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
we've talked about Blade Runner and he was supposed to be that way.
God, Paul Rubens.
Shut up. No, my three favorite actors, if
I
had to, is definitely Jack Nicholson for all the roles he's done, and Robert De Niro. I like Robert De Niro a lot.
You know, lately I've really been liking
awesome.
Johnny Depp for the most part, even though I don't agree with all of his choices. Even if the movie's shitty, you go to see. He's one of those actors that again adds value to your ticket price. Maybe Christopher Walken.
Maybe Tom Hanks might be my third. I was thinking the two are always Robert De Niro and Jack Nicholson.
Tom Hanks can just give you like a monologue.
It's probably Tom Hanks. It's either him or Harrison Ford, but I'd probably have to go give it to Hanks.
Tom Hanks is the only one that can give you a monologue and makes you want to listen to him.
Oh, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Oh,
but again, Morgan Freeman. The only movie I really respected his work in. He's a great actor, but Shawshank Redemption, and that was 20 years ago. I
gotta see that, man. It's been a while.
He looks the same he did 20 years ago as he does now.
Yeah.
He doesn't age.
He's like Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt looks not the same, but looks better almost. Must be nice, huh? Let's see what we look at 50.
One titties in my coffee.
Change my Depends then.
My stub.
Like your little autobiography. You're all about film, aren't you, Lenny? That's like your thing. You are all about film.
Very passionate about it.
I mean, you made an autobiography about yourself, and all you could talk about was movies.
Well, that's my life. That's
cool.
That's what I've always been aspiring to, even if it's not a movie project. I just love storytelling and working at Mord Crim and doing different editing projects. yeah, I would love to edit movies, but at the same time, even if you're selling a product, you're essentially telling a story that sells that product.
Well, it's interesting what you say about No Country for Old Men, about him dying, though. I kind of see what you mean, though. I mean, that's a movie you can really take, and I hope you took all that in. Just the landscapes, all the skies.
Yeah, I noticed
you were
really into just the visual style of it.
Well, it was cool. It really captured
a lot of
the
that stuff is just
West.
finding a lot of that stuff is just finding the right location. They
I thought it was
shot
a pretty
really
cool
good
story,
locations.
and it kept going. It didn't really stop much. Tommy Lee Jones was terrific, I thought. As the sheriff.
I just thought they really, to me, like I could have done without that last 20 minutes.
I understand. And a lot of people felt it was a little, I still love that. Why'd they torture him? I guess the TV set was broken. No, I guess. Well, I mean, yeah, you still kind of wonder.
But it's definitely something down the road I would like to watch again.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, the writing, yeah. Woody Harrelson, your poor guy, gets shot in the chair, right?
Yeah, that pissed me off because I think that's the first movie I've seen him get killed. Well, I
like when the phone starts ringing, though, and they're both looking at it, and he just kind of shoots him, and he picks it up.
That guy was pretty badass, though. I like that.
He won the Oscar for that, for Best Supporting. Yeah, Best Supporting. Definitely. What a great haircut. You're right, though. It might be the same in Skyfall.
It's the same thing,
right.
just blonde. Yeah.
Really? I thought it was a little different.
So I've been on a James Bond binge, and we haven't really talked about James Bond that much, but what are the ones you want to see or you haven't seen yet? How many would you say you've seen?
Hard. Well, the
23 official
3 Connerys. I think I've seen all I think 3 Brosnans. That's 6. And 1 Roger Moore. That's 7. Okay. So 7 films.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
No, and the 3 Daniel Craig. Oh, the 2 Daniel Craigs. So that's 9 movies.
You
9
haven't
of
seen
them.
Quantum of Solace?
I'd rather not.
Well, like I said, you should see to get a good
That's
flavor.
lower on my list. I'd much rather watch like Live and Let Die or Goldfinger for the 50th time.
Honestly, like I used to have like my favorite Bond movies, but I've been on this binge because I got them on Blu-ray, and when I bought them, I never actually sat and watched them on Blu-ray, and I'm watching them now. And first of all, these things they spent all this time. Like I remember when I was younger, I had an old copy of Thunderball on VHS, and it looked terrible. They didn't even remaster it. They took it directly from the old negative, and it just looked terrible. And they spent all this time, like, fixing... I mean, they did a better job with these than, like, Star Wars, it looks like. Like, they look pristine. The prints are really nice. And so I sat and watched them. Recently, I watched, like, most of the Roger Moore I'm up to... the Pierce Brosnan era now, and I really appreciate him a lot now. And even the ones I didn't like before, like the Timothy Dalton ones, I like them now. I don't like Timothy Dalton as much. I think Roger Moore would have been better in those films he was in, but there's a lot of history there, and it really helped me when I did those Shaken Not Stirred reviews for each of the films. Mm-hmm. I know so much about those movies now.
You're quite the aficionado. Yeah. What is it about James Bond that gets you going?
I had a friend in high school that really liked him, and I felt bad because I made fun of him all the time for it. But then I figured, it's really no different than me liking, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. And I used to think, those are the greatest movies in the world, and I look at them now in retrospect, I'm like, those aren't really great movies, but they're movies that I hold near and dear to me because I was a fan, Yeah. And you respect all the work that went into them, so... I'm really into, for some reason, and I always have been into franchises. Just especially the more entries franchise has, you wonder, why is a movie? Why does Friday the 13th have 12 movies in it? Why does Godzilla have 30 movies? Why does James Bond have so many freaking movies? And I just one day I started running them. It was years after, because my friend and we stopped talking after high school. But years after, I started running them, and I was like, let me get into these and see what they're about. I used to watch this show on Nick at Night called Get Smart. You ever see that?
Oh, I've heard of it, yeah.
It's like a spoof. It had
Don
Adams.
There you go.
He was the main guy. He played Agent 86, I think. And it was a spoof of the James Bond It was a spy spoof. And I used to love that as a kid. So, I started watching James Bond.
What I meant to ask you... No, what I really meant was, what is it about James Bond that you like? What is it that makes you keep watching? Is it the gadgets? The beautiful women? Is it the women?
Everything. Well... When my buddy, we used to discuss this, he wanted to be James Bond because James Bond sleeps with at least 10 girls per movie.
Right.
And I used to say, fuck that, that's bullshit, But that is, I can see now definitely what the appeal would have been from the 60s up until current day. And it was just every movie had beautiful girls. The best Bond movies to me were the ones that had the colorful villains. And you were saying with the Daniel Craig movies that the villains were not that great. Or at least maybe was it Brosnan? Brosnan, you said the villains were
the Brosnan movies had some pretty weak villains.
That's the best kind of Bond movie to me, had the standard
Denise
villains.
Richards, wasn't she a Bond girl?
She was
That's
a Bond
kind of
girl.
Interesting.
And she was really stupid.
I know, it was probably
Christmas
bad.
Jones.
Which one was that?
The World Is Not Enough, which I started watching today. Actually, it's not one of the better ones.
The World Is Not Enough. It isn't though. It isn't.
I was watching Tomorrow Never Dies, and that's actually a good one. Then they kind of trail off from there.
Yeah, they do.
What's interesting is I can honestly watch like Dr. No and From Russia with Love, the earlier ones, and they're very appealing. But that's one series where you kind of have to watch. If you just watch like one here, one there, you're not going to really get a good flavor of Bond. Watch them all. Don't watch them all at the same time. That's ridiculous. But if you watch them like in chronological order from the Sean Connery era all the way up to the current era with Daniel Craig, you'll see what I mean. It's very
evolution.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I think the word you're looking for is evolution.
And that's what I
Bond.
find fascinating.
How it kept changing.
Yeah, there's no one movie in the franchise I think that's great on its own, but watching them all in the context of the series, they've got some good ones.
So who's Moneypenny? Did I ever catch that she's like the one girl Bond can't have?
Yeah.
And he likes her, doesn't he? You can tell he's always flirting with her.
That's the thing. There's always this sexual tension from the very first movie with Lois Maxwell playing her.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing. Like she's the one girl that he can't have. And there's actually a great line. I think it was in Tomorrow Never Dies where they're talking, and she's like, "The funny thing, James, is you've never had me." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Good shit. What other franchise? Well, James Bond's great. Better than any other. Indiana Jones. That is a franchise, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think I still prefer Indiana Jones, to be honest, just because Indiana Jones, you can actually follow the story. What I don't like about James Bond is a lot of the times you don't even care about the story because he goes to 10 different locations in every film, and you a lot of the times the story is so convoluted you forget what he's doing.
I want to make a claim. I think James Bond and Indiana Jones are the two best movie heroes of all time.
Maybe. I don't know.
Who gets better? Not James Bond. No, James Bond and Indiana Jones, yeah. I'm just saying, who would knock him off? Best movie hero. Who's your favorite movie hero? There's a lot of them.
That's a good question.
I think those are the two. Honestly, James Bond, I think, definitely.
Harry Potter. I only say that because the generation is different. You know, there's a lot of people who've probably never seen a James Bond movie.
Yeah, exactly. What's that?
I'm kind of curious to see because James Bond has 23 films, Harry Potter only has 8, but I wonder which series has done more money.
I think Harry Potter.
It's possible, yeah.
Because of those movies, billions and billions, which is unfair though because Harry Potter's
deservedly so though. They are very well done movies.
Well, no, it's just that tickets are a lot more expensive than they used to be.
Well, you're adjusting for inflation though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. To me, what's more important is what sold more tickets. Tickets sold is really the number you want, not what made more, because these days the numbers are so high.
Well, you're always adjusting for inflation, though. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's hard to say. Star Wars, like Luke Skywalker, maybe.
But you know what? Yeah, well, maybe Han Solo. I think Han Solo is an even bigger hero than Luke Skywalker.
It's
maybe.
possible. Yeah. I never understood what's the appeal of Han Solo. That's what I was always curious about. Yeah,
that's a good question. Why you don't think there's appeal?
I don't know. I kind of find him a two-dimensional character.
He's a rebel.
I find them all. They're all rebels.
Falcon. Well, he's all for himself, but he learns that he becomes friends with everybody. He's like that, I don't. I'm a lost child. No, I
don't think he would have be as interesting.
I don't know what the word is. No, he finds the courage or the
charisma or whatever.
No, well, of course he does. It's Harrison Ford, but no, he has the courage and heart to join them. He's only. I always
look at if you look at the Star Wars films, they draw so much from mythology that almost all those characters, and Carrie Fisher actually said this, are archetypes. They're not real. They're not meant to be real characters, but you love them because they're very familiar. But that's the thing. Like they're all kind of two-dimensional to me. Like they all resemble like generic characters to me, like fairy tale characters. But I was like kind of looking at just regular movie characters. What is the appeal of Harrison Ford? Because I think you're right. Like there is a mass appeal towards the character. A lot of people want to see him come back. And
I think it's because in the beginning of New Hope, this was out for himself. He didn't care about anybody else. But throughout the film, and near the end, he goes, "May the Force be with you," and then he does the whole. He saves Luke in the end. Really,
so
he saved the day.
You think his full character arc was pretty much explored in the first film?
No, it kept going. That's the beauty of it. But in that first film, even you're right. He had a great character arc. He went from this, to that. I think that's why people liked him. He was kind of like the.
Do you think
he came into his own?
Do you think if Harrison Ford could time travel, or Han Solo could time travel, like he got no? Listen to my question.
All right.
He went all the way through Jedi. He evolutionized into the character that he eventually became. Do you think if he could go back, do you think he'd still shoot Greedo? With everything he
had to.
You don't think you tried to talk it out with him? Been like, I got Princess Leia now.
Fuck him. He would have cocked that gun.
I'm civilized now. So.
He had nowhere to go. So was it Greedo shot first? Don't we always talk?
I'm not even having that conversation.
I love my favorite podcast moments because sometimes I'll lay in bed and just listen to our podcast and I'll laugh so much.
They're all nightmares.
We got into so many funny little things,
Did we never talked really a lot about my top 10 favorite video games. Do you have your own personal top 10?
No, I'm trying to put together our favorite top 10 movies.
You should. You should put like one together and let me like edit it together and all the clips. I'm serious.
Oh, well, that would be cool. I'm trying to do 10 movies.
You should write it and actually narrate it, and I'll
that'd be kind of cool.
Put it on.
Not video games, but movies. I'm more of a movie guy than a video game guy. But I'm trying my hardest. Not movies I think are the best, just my favorite. The ones I would want.
You can't do movies that others think are. Right. You got to do your. That's
exactly.
What I do with my top 25.
Yeah. Like I like to think of it as the island. I like to think of it as if you were on an island with 10 movies, what would you pick?
With no electricity and no DVD player, no
that
TV.
kind of thing. Then that gives the better. I know Jaws is a shoo-in, and it might be, I don't know, but probably Star Wars is probably.
Do you have like an absolute favorite movie, or is that kind of like up in the air?
Jaws. I love Jaws and Star Wars. Yeah. Those two are great.
Cool.
Those are top 10s probably.
The original Star Wars.
Yeah.
See, like with me, I was I was looking at one of our older podcasts, and we were talking about Star Wars, and I've always had this conflict between Empire and Jedi, and it's I don't know. Every time I say Jedi, I regret not choosing Empire, and then when I choose Empire, I'm like, but I really like Jedi.
Star Wars can't be chosen. It's like you gotta enjoy all three.
Well, the original trilogy, it is like one movie.
It is.
It's hard to choose.
And that's the way it is. It really is. We should all enjoy just all three of them.
Phantom Menace is my favorite one.
Well, you know what I mean. I hate picking over movies sometimes because it's hard. Like you said, you feel like you're disowning the other one when you're really not. You're just they all go kind of hand in hand. I just
remember, like, Jedi, for some reason, I would always try to watch the original trilogy in order, and I could never do it. So I saw Jedi, the least amount of time was when I was a kid. So whenever I got to Jedi, it blew my mind because of all the stuff that was in it.
You rebel scum.
Yeah.
I just love that, dude. He just says that. It's like some no-name actor. He only had one line. He just delivers it with such gusto.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
The other thing we talked about too, though, was your top your top sequels. I think you had your top 5 sequels. Are there any other sequels you can think of that you would hold in high enough regard to kind of mention, or not really? I think yours were Gremlins 2. I think that was on there.
Wow, yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, of course. Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Right, Nightmare 3.
Of course. I mean, any of those Jason movies would count, but, 4 and 6, but no, I don't think those really
that's another series, though. None of those movies by themselves are
Gremlins 2 is a good choice.
Great.
Gremlins 2 is a good choice.
Yeah.
I like Gremlins 2.
I really want you to watch Rocky Balboa. You really have to go from Rocky.
There it is.
You don't even have to watch the middle ones. You can go from Rocky to Rocky Balboa.
I don't like boxing, one.
You like Raging Bull.
I love Raging Bull. That's not about boxing. Boxing's like the backdrop of Raging Bull.
Well, that's what Rocky is, really.
True, but I just don't like Sylvester Stallone either.
Really?
That's what it is. I just don't.
There it is.
I don't know. Maybe I'll learn to like him. It's just, when you don't like either of those things, how are you going to like Rocky?
I would really want next time I'm over,
I'll
bring over Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
I want you to see.
It's no offense to your family, but if you want to watch a movie, it's best to do it like right here, probably. Just not of the screaming kids and Glenn going, Lenny, can I have another piece of your pumpkin pie? I was fixing an engine, and my dick got caught in the grinder, and I said, "Oh shit."
Yeah, that's my brother.
What's your favorite sequel of all time? Yeah, you have it. Shawshank 2?
Electric Boogaloo.
That's the real gay version. Anyways, didn't you say they were gay? Didn't you say it's like Shawshank Redemption? They were kind of gay for each other?
Could have been. I don't know.
Don't you think?
Yeah. I don't think that's any of my damn business.
I don't think it... Yeah, I guess it's not the point.
Return of the King.
Oh.
And actually, there's a lot of people who don't like that one as much as like Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, Two Towers is probably the bastard child. Well, not the bastard. It's a good movie.
I don't. I like Two Towers better than Fellowship.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I think. I mean, I understand why people don't like it as much. It
hurts because it's the middle movie. There's no beginning. There's no end.
That's Empire Strikes Back.
Well, that's fine, but I'm just saying in the case of Two Towers, it's a book. What do they call it? A bookend or no, not bookend, but
like a bridge between two movies.
Between the two bookends, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What I like about Two Towers is, and what a lot of good trilogies do, Star Wars 2, is the Two Towers Fellowship of the Ring introduces you to the main characters and kind of the overall conflict, but The Two Towers introduces you to things that you haven't even seen yet. Like, that was really the first movie that you saw, you're introduced to Gollum, and you saw all these other people, cities and things that you got to see more of the storyline. And then Return of the King, just
I'll have to watch
that
more.
movie still is just so ambitious. I want you to get to watch the extended versions, because it's just the amount of footage that they shot for those movies is mind blowing.
Well, yeah, that is.
Of course, you go into The Hobbit.
It is mind
I'm
blowing.
just so frustrated with those movies right now. Not because they're bad movies. It's just what it does well is when it adapts the book. What it does poorly is when it tries to be a fucking prequel to Lord of the Rings.
Well, American Hustle is supposed to be the big winner. That's the one that's gotten nominated for almost everything.
Yeah.
The two actresses. You're Jennifer Lawrence that you like so much.
Oh,
or is that me?
yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
You might like Catching Fire. I don't know. Like I said, you didn't read the book, so I feel you're lucky, because I read the book, and I'll tell you, it kind of spoils the movie sometimes, because you know exactly what's going to happen. It kind of does.
Well,
take away
in
from
the old days, like we talked about this with Jurassic Park, and up till recently, like you could change. It was normal to change stuff in the movies to keep it fresh, but now, even with Harry Potter, like they just take everything from the book, and put it in the movie, and you're right. If you read the book, you kind of know what's going to happen.
Not saying it ruins it. It
diminishes the effect.
If you hadn't read the book, my God, it'd blow your mind away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Hunger Games, to me, what ruined it was they didn't take very many chances with it. If what you said, did you say that the books are like violent, like more violent than the
Not
movies?
really. No, I mean you can make it into a PG-13.
And I hate to compare these movies, but I saw Battle Royale. And it was very violent. Whether you like that movie better or you like Hunger Games better,
Never seen it.
It's the same exact premise. It really is.
Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, kids killing each other.
But it's just very violent, and I think it was banned in the U.S. for a while because of that. And that's what I thought Hunger Games should have done.
Well, then it'd have to be rated R, and they can't have that because you got a young teen fan base.
And that's where
as an executive in a studio,
they didn't take a risk, and that's why a PG-13 movie generally guarantees profit. Not all the time, but that's why.
But it doesn't need to be violent. The fact that kids are killing themselves in the first place is violent enough. You
but
don't need to show the gore.
I don't know.
You don't need the payoff.
I think with something with kids getting killed, you need the payoff.
You sick fuck.
I would have liked to see.
You sick fuck.
I would have liked to see kids getting
sick.
slaughtered. No.
Well, the movie was violent
I'm not
enough.
sick, and that's the thing. Like that's to me
Those poor kids.
That's why I didn't enjoy the movie as much as other people did.
She was good in it though.
She was good. You have a hard on for Jennifer Lawrence.
She is good. You don't think she's a good actress?
I've only seen her in the one movie. I mean, I thought she was okay.
Oh, you'll like her in this one
Nothing
too.
memorable, but
I think she's really pretty though. Anyways, some of those Star Wars spin-off movies. Are we gonna go see the new Obi-Wan Kenobi movie?
I might be down for that, just because it's you.
The script's complete,
I thought Ewan McGregor was a great Obi-Wan.
They're done writing the script, right? J.J. Abrams announced it today or yesterday or something like that.
Oh,
they're all done writing
7?
it. Yeah, yep.
I heard, and I don't know if it's true, but I heard that, and I don't know what to believe anymore. But when Michael Arndt was writing the screenplay, he originally wanted the movie to be about the offspring of the Skywalkers, and the reason why he left was because there was a disagreement. J.J. Abrams wanted Episode 7 to be more about Han, Leia, and Luke.
The old characters, yeah.
Which, personally, is not the way I would go. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say that they can't make a good movie. I've heard that, Mark Hamill is off training to become fit or whatever. Yeah. So
they could make a movie with them. Why not? Just one. Doesn't have to be the whole trilogy. Just
that's what I heard was apparently the reason why J.J. Abrams is doing that is because he wants to have one more movie where we can enjoy these characters, and that's fine.
That's good. Yeah.
You can do that, but not if Carrie Fisher doesn't lose weight. And,
well, it's good though. Is passing the torch. You get that sense of a new beginning.
Yeah, and essentially, I guess the offspring would be the kind of the side story, and then when you get to episodes 8 and 9, they'd become the forefront. That's fine. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not really invested in episode 7 right now.
Well, sure. We'll wait a couple years.
When it comes out, we'll see how.
Me as a fan of the series, I just want to feel like I'm watching a Star Wars movie again. You want to feel that again. And I don't think you can have that without those characters coming back. I think that's going to definitely help the movie, if anything. You get that nostalgic feeling. You know how cool that's going to be, dude? To see fucking Han Solo on the big screen after all these years. This is something we've been dreaming of.
Yeah,
honestly,
we'll see.
All your life, I'm sure you've been dreaming.
And I'm not saying anything good or bad because, like I said, I didn't really, looking back at Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, didn't like that movie a ton. It was good, but Harrison Ford I think can still do it. back then. But that was, 5-6 years ago.
Is he going to be like a cranky old fuck in this one?
I don't know. He's going to be 75.
Would you quit fucking with the Millennium Falcon? Yelling at the kids. Liar! Yeah. Goddamn dogs eating the carpet.
And the thing about it is that I'm kind of watching out for is I'm not a huge extended universe person. I don't really care what happens in the books and everything, but I do know that there's a lot of history. I know that like Luke gets married to Mara Jade, and there's all this other history.
The universe.
So you're gonna are you gonna start episode 7, and all of a sudden you're gonna see all these characters that most people don't know about? Because I don't think a lot of Star Wars fans...
the one thing I want to see in the next movie I think would be so badass is
Han and Chewie sex scene?
No, I'm not kidding. I always thought of this Boba Fett getting out of that Sarlacc pit. I thought that'd be so sweet.
I don't think you will, just because
Wouldn't that be sweet, though? What a great way to open the
Well,
movie.
I think they want to do a Boba Fett movie. And
I could just see the movie starting with like shots of the desert, and it just gets slower into that big hole, and you know what it is, and you'll see Boba Fett down there with a bunch of weird creatures, and they help him get out.
They wrote a book where he gets out.
That would be such a great way to start the movie, though. I mean, the fans would just... I don't know. That's just me, but...
You should make it.
You know what I mean? That would be a sweet beginning,
You should make it.
Well, I can, but I'm just saying.
Why can't you?
I would love
You
to
should.
see that as a beginning of the movie.
You and me should go out and make that movie. Like, seriously. Get Glenn to dress up as Boba Fett.
Wait, no, I'm being really serious. I think the fans would love that, seeing Boba Fett getting out of that Sarlacc pit in the beginning. Did I used to call it the Scarlac pit? Yeah. Did I always say Scarlac?
Yeah,
You're always calling him Ralph. Like Ralph the Mouse.
You don't even know who that is, do you?
No. He's got 2 sides, and he wears a red bandana. That's who. Oh, that's Raph. Sorry.
That's right.
Sorry, Raph. If you're listening, hello.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people, I think the biggest problem with the side movies is that they don't want to see movies keep going backwards. They want to see the story progress, which I understand, and that's fine.
That's just too much.
But it also depends on what kind of stories you're talking about. Like, you would not be interested in seeing a 12-year-old Boba Fett movie, but you would be interested in seeing Boba Fett get out of that fucking Sarlacc
Let's watch
pit.
that Yoda origin story. Yeah. Back on Dagobah. We'll see him in his early upbringings as a child, sexually abused by Uncle Yoda.
So are they all named Yoda?
Written by Michael Arndt. Tells the true story of young Yoda overcoming his gayness. Teaching Luke.
So does he speak like with a gay lisp?
Put your tongue to mine. Did you see that new movie, Pacific Rim? Stop putting your dick in my ear, you will.
That is a good porn title, Pacific Rim. They were to make
Pacific Rim Job.
Right, exactly. Did you see that, Pacific Rim? Let's go watch it. Or we can play my PlayStation 3. What's the difference? Right,
Yeah. All right.
But I digress. That's the only times we could say that word on the podcast. I would love to do that so many times.
I digress?
Or is it I digress? Is it I digress? What does that mean, I digress? Does it mean like I stand aside?
Yeah.
It's like saying you're saying your part, but then you digress. But I think it's a piece of shit, but I digress. But I'll back off. So you like the Carrie remake? That's good. What's the other new remakes? I think they're remaking Point Break.
What?
Exactly. All right, let's move on. Anyways, I think they're... What's a movie? Point Break. You never heard of Point Break with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze?
No.
The guys that robbed banks with the masks of the presidents over their faces? I'm sure you saw a clip of it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You might have. Anyways, they're remaking that.
Yay.
Well, anyways, they're remaking it.
How can you call it a remake if like half the people don't even know about the original?
I'm getting pissed, man. I want a new Jason movie. I'm getting pissed because I just don't think it's going to come.
It's coming out next year, 2013 or
What?
14.
Are you serious?
2014.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Found footage. Without Jason. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Good. Blair Witch Project Part 3.
I want him without that damn
Why would you
hockey
call it
mask.
Friday the 13th, man? Just call it something else then. No, Jason's Woods. If there's no Jason, why are you calling it Friday the 13th?
Jason in the ghetto. Jason takes
It just
Cincinnati.
pisses me. You know, the series could have been so much better, and it's just, I don't know, man.
They're just milking it for the name at this point. They don't even care about the fans of the originals anymore.
Why can't we live in the 80s anymore, man? I don't know.
Whatever happened to that feature-length Detroit Vice film?
I don't know. You had the script done, right?
Yeah, that script was the biggest piece of shit I've
How
ever
many
written.
fuck words are
It's a lot. It's a very offensive script.
Talk about filler words.
It's a very
you
offensive
fucked hard
script.
tortoise. Oh, funniest thing I heard today was uppercut. That was so funny. It was an uppercut.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But I digress.
Rocco. Was it Rocco Rodriguez? I always want to know who scripted that fuck. Well, I think you wrote the script to Detroit Vice, the original. You were writing it on paper.
I didn't put my name anywhere on that piece
I'm just trying to think of how it came about. I think you did write like a rough draft, and then we revised it.
Something like that.
And then went and got the costumes.
What costumes?
The toy gun.
Your rip-off button pants.
I thought I'm a dickhead. That's all I want to do.
Want to roll the rule like a dickhead.
All right, it's enough about fucking Detroit Vice. I've heard enough.
I'd like to do another Decrepitation one of these days.
Yeah. We'll do it with this fucking cat right here. Decrepitation! That'd be hard to do.
Bring me you and
Well,
Glenn.
they're both so
Maybe
different,
not
though.
there.
You got one of the dog, and then the other one's just us fucking around in your basement.
So we could do a third one like that. Just us fucking around in my house. Or here. Either way.
Yeah, I guess we could.
All right.
This is part one. We'll do part 2 later.
Okay.
This isn't a full podcast.
Whatever. Sure.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Suck dick. A lot of it.
I wish I had a fart right now so I could toot right in the fucking microphone. That's so hard I farted. Oh boy. Okay.
Bye, folks.
Good night.